Coming up on the 49ers report, the Niners have cut 4 players from their roster to get down to the 80-man limit, and they place Mychal Kendricks on IR. If you haven't cut out that crappy cereal from your diet, you should do so right now and hop on the Magic Spoon train. Per serving, 14 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, only 4 grams of net carbs, and you get $5 off at checkout by going to magicspoon.com/49ers report. We have some breaking news to get to here on the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Senior. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram to talk Niners at Chase_Senior. Niners cutting 4 players today, putting Mychal Kendricks on IR. We'll explore all of that further, but here's how the schedule has worked with those NFL mandated cuts. 85-man roster, that came out last week, got down to that limit on August 17th. Now today, Niners getting their roster to 80 men, and that is the case all across the National Football League. And then next Tuesday, it's the big day. 17 more players will be cut from this roster to get down to 53 players prior to the season opener against the Detroit Lions in Week 1. As for the roster moves that San Francisco just made moments ago, this is why you subscribe to the 49ers Report, because we bring you all of the latest breaking news and rumors. Shilique Calhoun has been released, the defensive lineman. B.W. Webb, the journeyman cornerback, has also been let go. Cracraft, who a lot of people were high on earlier on this offseason, has been cut as well. Corbin Kaufusi, the offensive lineman, he is no longer in Santa Clara. And Mychal Kendricks, the linebacker, who was just signed recently 2 weeks ago, right when the 49ers played the Kansas City Chiefs, has been placed on IR. How that works is he cannot play this season unless he and the team reach an injury settlement. Then that would allow him to sign elsewhere. Looks as though Kendricks only lasted 1 preseason game because of that turf toe injury. Niner gang, sound off in the comment section. Which player are you most surprised got cut today? I don't think there's any names on that list that really came as all that much of a surprise. Maybe Cracraft, because he was putting in off-season work with guys like Trey Lance, but he wasn't good to crack this roster at all. But get those names in the comment section down below. As was the case last week when the roster was cut down to 85 players, all of these position groups are position groups of strength. You start off by looking at the defensive line depth chart. The Niners are set here, especially considering how some of the backups played in the second preseason game against the Chargers. I mean, Kentavious Street has been going off. Samson Ebukam, like Kentavious Street, was able to log a sack. Arden Key, Mo Hurst, Zach Kerr, Jordan Willis, the latter of those guys. Willis coming through with a sack as well. The Niners, I think, could have one of the most ferocious defensive fronts across the entire National Football League, and they dominated against the Chargers in the preseason without the likes of Nick Bosa or even D. Ford. Eric Armstead, another Niner with a sack on Sunday night. As for the cornerbacks, B.W. Webb, no longer on this roster, and I think that's a solid move for the Niners because he consistently just gets burned in either zone coverage or man coverage. He's been a journeyman quarterback all throughout his career, just not good enough and not a quality player where he could make a 53-man roster when you're going up against backups in the rookies Ambry Thomas and Diamador Lenore, who have been flashing so far in the preseason. And then as far as the starters, you're set with Jason Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley, K'Wan Williams, as well as Johnson. So from there to the wide receivers, Cracraft was getting action late in these preseason games. And he dropped a pass against KC in the opening week of the preseason on a catch that he really should have made. And he just doesn't match up with guys like Trent Sherfield, Jawan Jennings, Nasimba Webster, Travis Benjamin, who caught a touchdown pass from Trey Lance this past weekend. The wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 spots, in my opinion, are locked up with Mohamed Sanu as well as Trent Sherfield. After that, it's James, Webster, Benjamin, Jennings, all battling it out for possibly that 5th and final wide receiver position on the 53. Now to the offensive line. The starting offensive line, I think, could be the best in the NFC West. Trent Williams, Laken Tomlinson, Alex Mack, Daniel Brunskill, Mike McGlinchey. The backups are what concern me. But you're getting rid of guys at this point in the offseason who weren't even second stringers or even third stringers. So I think this offensive line, as long as they're able to stay healthy, will be in a prime position to either protect Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance. We'll figure out who the starting quarterback is going to be over the next couple of weeks. Your excitement level for this season. We're getting closer and closer to the regular season. And when these roster cuts take place, it only means that opening day is right around the corner. Scale your excitement level in the comments section for me from 1 to 10. Today's 49ers report is made possible thanks to our friends at Magic Spoon. When I was in college, I got really, really fat because late at night, I had the munchies, I was crushing bowls of cereal, and I packed on a bunch of pounds because those traditional cereal brands are awful for you. They're loaded with carbs, loaded with sugar, and the ingredients in those things, they're terrible for you. Well, Magic Spoon is the complete opposite. Per serving, you get 0 grams of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and the ingredients are actually quality. High in protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious. And here's the deal, Niner gang. You can get $5 off at checkout by going to magicspoon.com/49ers report. I woke up in the morning thinking about the Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo quarterback competition. That was the first thing that I was thinking about when I opened my eyes after my alarm sounded. Then from there, my focus shifted to breakfast. And for breakfast, I just had to crush some Magic Spoon cereal. So one more time, magicspoon.com/49ers report. You can grab a box, you can grab 2 boxes, you can grab 4 boxes, whatever you want, and test out all of these delicious flavors. They're a big supporter of what we do, so we'd appreciate it if you go ahead and support Magic Spoon. Some more injury news to get to with the Niners. Maurice Hurst, who really has come on throughout training camp as well as the preseason. It's looking more and more like he was a sneaky good free agency addition for the Niners, is now out because of a high right ankle sprain. He suffered that injury against the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday night, and Kyle Shanahan said that Hurst is going to miss about a month. It's really a shame because he was playing well, and he was a lock to make the 53-man roster. And because all of those roster moves were made and Mo Hurst wasn't put on IR or the physically unable to perform list, it looks as though Hurst is going to come back in about a month, and he's also going to make that 53-man roster spot. Because if he was placed on IR, placed on PUP, that would have meant that the Niners were very concerned about that injury, or his roster spot was not a guarantee. Once again, let's look at the 49ers defensive line depth chart, because I think Hurst is going to probably be the top backup behind either DJ Jones or Javon Kinlaw. He has proven himself to be that good of a player because he was wreaking havoc in that preseason game against the Chargers. And as a rotational piece along that front, I think he can be a very solid buy low, get a lot of potential with that signing. As for Mychal Kendricks, he was only signed 2 weeks ago on the night that the Niners took on the Kansas City Chiefs in the preseason. He kind of got the bag, too. A little more than $1 million on that one-year contract. He has been placed on injured reserve. So basically what that means is Kendricks isn't going to be able to play this year for the Niners and won't play at all unless he and the Niners are able to reach an injury settlement, and then he could sign elsewhere with another team. I think this is somewhat significant because he was signed as a depth piece in that linebacking core that features Azeez Al-Shahir, Fred Warner, as well as Dre Greenlaw. Jonas Griffith has really come on. Marcel Harris has played well in the preseason. Flanagan Foles has flashed a little bit as well. The undrafted free agent, Elijah Sullivan, has also played well too, but those latter guys aren't the caliber of the player that Mychal Kendricks is because, man, I mean, he's been a really good playmaker for a long time at the linebacker spot in the National Football League. So it doesn't hurt your starting core by any means, which I still think is very, very good. But without Kendricks now for 2021, after he only played 1 game last year with the Cleveland Browns, it certainly does affect your depth. Injury issues, they've plagued this franchise for a little while, and already they're starting to pop up just a bit. So we have to do some reverse voodoo here. Get into the comment section right now and just comment Niner Gang to wish away this injury bug. Because if we wish away the injury bug, that means that the Niners are going on a deep run in the NFL playoffs. I mean, it's only right. Comment Niner Empire in the comment section right now. And also, before I dip on out of here, we are going live today at 7 o'clock Eastern. Join us. We do have a watch party, our third coming up of this preseason. On Sunday, final preseason game between the Niners and the Raiders. We got to show the Bay that the Niner gang runs the Bay. Join us. Kickoff around 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. Subscribe and join us, youtube.com/49ers TV, or hit that red subscribe button down below. Myself, Mitchell Renz of the Raiders Report, we're going to be partying all night, talking Niner football.